Okay guys, so you can see I'm in the minivan. We are doing spur of the moment video today. My mom sent me a message and asked me if the Good Stuff thrift store still had the Karen Simply Soft in that fuchsia color because she could use some. So I had a kid that needed to go to work, and when we drive the kid to work and drop him off, we go past all 4 of my thrift stores. So my husband is with me, and kind of remember that he is still camera shy a little bit. So we are going to stop at all the thrift stores. We're going to go to Goodwill. We're going to go to Salvation Army, 2nd Avenue Thrift, and I got to stop in the Joann's real quick, and then we'll go to Good Stuff Thrift, see what kind of yarn we can find. I'm not going to Habitat for Humanity today because it's Saturday, and it's always all the contractors in there and all the DIY people that are in there, so it's packed, and they have a lot of stuff in there, not a lot of room to walk around. So we're going to skip that one for today. We're going to do all the others, plus Joann's, okay? So, I'll catch up with you in a minute. Gotta watch my bumper on those steep hills. All right, my friends, let's do this while we're out in the car. Okay, we got Karen Simply Soft for $2.99. It is the color Cool Green. Okay. We got another Karen Simply Soft for $2.99. It's Neon Orange. Red Heart Super Seaver. All of these I think were $2.99. In light periwinkle. The color Minty from Red Heart Super Seaver, because I think they're getting ready to discontinue that color, but I could be wrong. How about Patty Green? I haven't had this in years. Petal Pink, because I know that they're getting ready to discontinue this. And some Karen 1 pound. For $4.99. in the color Living Coral. Alright, let's go put this card away. I'm sorry for that. When I hold my camera, I'll hold it by the lens, and when I do that, it changes the focal length, so I'm sorry that it gets up close or it gets further away and it gets blurry. I really should travel with a tripod or a handheld, but I don't. So my husband is still inside of Goodwill. He found Game of Thrones, all 8 seasons for $30, and he looks at me, he's like, do we want this? And I'm like, well, are you going to stand here and open them all up and make sure all the discs are in there and make sure they're all not scratched? Because I'm not. I'm on a mission today. I'm on a mission for yarn at the thrift stores. So that was Goodwill. I did leave, what, 4 skeins of yarn on the shelf. That big blanket yarn because I have no interest in it. The brown from Red Heart, that beige color, and whatever the other one was that I left. It's only because those colors really don't speak to me, so I left them. And besides, somebody else can use them. I don't have to buy all the yarn. So up next should be 2nd Avenue Thrift and Joann's, so I will get back to you then. And I'm sorry, I keep looking at myself in the viewfinder to make sure I'm in there. Like, where else would I be? And this is all because my mom sent me a message, sent me an email saying, hey, does the thrift store still have that fuchsia color? So I'm hitting them all today. I will catch up with you guys at the next store, okay? Okay friends, we're inside of 2nd Avenue Thrift. It's loud in here. You see all this is polyester yarn. And then this stuff here, right? Look at the vintageness of this. And the bulkiness of this. And then they've got baggies full of yarn. Polly, can you get this one down for me? Ooh. Okay, that's sock yarn that's in there. BB yarn. And Christmas yarn. Okay, so let's do a mini haul at the trunk. I got a crochet book. Crochet 200 Q&A about relaxing quilt. And then Annie's Crochet Quilt and Afghan Club is an official pattern portfolio, like 99 cents. It's got all kinds of patterns in there. All right, so I already showed you this in the cart, right? I showed you the Christmas stuff, right? Then I found these little baggies of these tiny little mini balls of yarn. I got 2 of them, $1.99 each. So that was inside 2nd Avenue Thrift. It was crazy in there. So there's 2nd Avenue Thrift, Famous Footwear. Now we're gonna go into Joann. Okay friends, we're in Joann's. Here we go. Granny Square yarn. Which color should we pick? This one? This one? Or this one? This one. Good choice. Nope, not that one. It's got frayed fibers. That one. Okay, so in true Saturday fashion, when I'm out with my husband, it has started to rain. Ask him. I hate shopping in the rain. Now, I don't mind being out in the rain, but I hate shopping in the rain because I hate my stuff getting wet. So inside of Joann's, you saw they only had 3 skeins left. And I picked up this one. I don't even know what it's called. Soft white hot stuff. Soft white hot stuff. My husband's laughing and is shaking the minivan because he's probably like, oh yeah, I'm hot stuff. You're hot stuff. You're hot stuff. All right, so next on my drive home is Salvation Army. But I'm going to skip them today because they really do not. When I find yarn there, it's like maybe once or twice a year. So I'm going to skip them and go to Good Stuff Thrift, okay? And see if they have that Karen Simply Soft for my mom. So Mom, I'm taking one for you by shopping in the rain. There we go. Good Stuff Thrift. I know that building looks really big because it's really long. So let's go see what they've got. Keep your fingers crossed that they still have that Karen Simply Soft for my mom. Now the question is, if they have it, does she want all of it or some of it? Oh, they're packed in here today. Sorry, don't mind the dinging. I need to check the oil in my minivan. Okay, so I have to do the haul behind the steering wheel because it's raining and I don't want the yarn to get wet while I'm in the trunk. Yeah, because I call that trunk space in the minivan. So they did have at Good Stuff Thrift, they did have the Karen Simply Soft. They had it for $2.99. They had 6 skeins of it. I picked up all 6 for my mom. And then they had this the last time I was here too. And I think I told you guys, my mom used to use Starbella. She used to use it on making bags and stuff. So it's from Premier, and there's 4 skeins of this rainbow color for $1.25. So I picked all 4 of those up for her because I had to call her to see if she still wanted it. Alright, so that's my husband trying to be really quiet. Go ahead and close your door properly. I don't want rain in the van. Oh no, noise. Okay, so the reason I went into Joann's was to get this all-in-one granny square yarn, because I've seen a lot of other YouTubers making videos about them, how hard it is to get to gauge on it. Some people, they really, I don't know, you're in 2 camps, either you like it or you don't. So I had a question if I had bought any, and no. But what I would like to do is find these corresponding colors in my stash and show you the old-fashioned way of making a multicolored granny square versus doing it in the all-in-one. So that's why I went to Joann's. Alright, so that's it for my thrift stores. It's off to Wawa for lunch, because I like to get ham and turkey with lettuce and bacon on a hoagie roll. And my husband really likes the meatball subs. So we're gonna go to Wawa, get some lunch, and then we'll go home. Guess who has 2 cats that love Wawa? They love ham, turkey, meatballs, bacon, lettuce, and bread. Are we sharing it? No, we are not, but it doesn't stop them from trying to get it. Alright, my friends, so I'm home. I've had some lunch. So, I'm not sure how my clips turned out yet, because I was going between my camera and my phone, and my camera and my phone, depending on where I was at and what I was doing. And then at some point, I just got tired of carrying it all. So, Goodwill, I was surprised. Goodwill doesn't always have any yarn. And the Red Heart Super Saver in this pink, petal pink, I know that on their website they either have petal pink or pretty in pink at Yarnspirations, because I think they're discontinuing it, which is a shame, because it's one of my favorite shades of pink. So $2.99 at Goodwill. It's not a full skein, but it's close enough, right? And then this minty color, this one's not full either. But this minty color, I always see this in the Super Saver. I mean, not the Super Saver, in With Love, and not in the Super Saver. So, you know, I like the green. And this light periwinkle. I haven't had this color in my stash in years. Oh, I love this. It goes along very well with light raspberry, which is a color they've had since the 80s, right? And of course, Patty Green. I don't think I've had this one in my stash in a very long time either. So I picked up the Patty Green because Christmas in July. I want you guys to grab all of your skeins or leftovers of green, red, variegated, that is green, red, and white. Anything that's remotely Christmas colored for you, I want you to start putting it off to the side and say, ooh, we're doing Christmas in July. So that's why I bought the Patty Green. And remember, this was all at Goodwill. And I got 2 skeins of Karen Simply Soft in the neon orange, which I love this, and I don't have any more in my stash. And cool green, I think this is what this one is. Yeah, cool green. And they were $2.99 a piece. At one point in my stash, I had 1 skein of every color for Karen Simply Soft. And then the Karen 1 pound in their color, it's called Living Coral. It's lighter than orange, but darker than peach. I mean, my camera's making it look really dark, and it's partly because it's gray in here today because it's rainy outside. So, where's the price tag? Goodwill was asking $4.99 for it. When I wound up in Joann's a little while later, they have this stuff in Joann's for $11.99. So, I know the thrift stores can be hit or miss, but sometimes you just have to stick with it and go once a week, and you'll find stuff like this, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skeins of yarn from Goodwill. That's not bad. Okay, so from Goodwill we went to 2nd Avenue Thrift and Joann's because they're right next to each other, okay? It's hard to film in the store, especially on a Saturday in there when they are so busy. The first thing I found was this baggie that is $2.99. I didn't care about the price. I just snatched it off the shelf and said, oh, that's mine. And it's got Christmas knitting yarn from Wonder Art in red, white, and green. So again, this is going to go in my stash for Christmas in July. So I think it's only like a 3-ounce skein I think is in there. And they feel like they're still full, like they're brand new. But I mean, this stuff is vintage. And then I found this bag. I bought this one for $1.99 because it has some Premier sock yarn in here. And I told you guys I want to be making I want to crochet a sweater. And I need sock yarn because I don't want my sweater to be big and bulky. And then this random ball of baby yarn. And then, I don't know, it's got another random ball of something in there. I have no idea what it is. When I take it out of the bag, I'll figure it out. So, when we're in the thrift stores, my husband likes to go to the electronics section. So I'll let him go. It's where he goes, and I usually go down to the books. On my way down to the books, I was walking through the kids' arts and crafts section, and I found this bag. I found 2 of them, okay, for $1.99 each. And they've got these little balls of yarn in them. So let's rip this one open. Let's get one of those out of there. Get that label out, because there's this one too. See what kind of yarn it is, and maybe you guys can tell me where it comes from. All right, let's see. Mira Handcrafts. Okay, that's the front of the label. It says 100% acrylic. It's 10 grams, 22 yards. 22 yards. I can get a patchwork square out of that because I think 10 yards is a patchwork square. Oh, it has a 3 on there. I wonder if they're saying it's a number 3 light. Yep, number 3 DK light worsted. Made in China. www.miragoods.com. And then it gives a recommended hook size. 4.5 millimeter to 5.5 millimeter. I've never seen these before. Tiny little bonbons of yarn. I mean, these would be perfect for, like, if you want to make a granny square blanket with multiple granny squares that have multiple colors. I bet you these would do really well for the first round or 2. So many of them. I'll have to count these up later, and I'll have to get back to you guys on that, okay? So that was from 2nd Avenue Thrift. So while I was down in their book section, I did find a book or 2. Well, or 5. Shh, I think I found 5. Okay, I found Reflection, A Twisted Tale by Elizabeth Lim. What if Mulan had traveled to the underworld? Right? And then Dragons, Fearsome Monsters from Myth and Fiction. It's a book about dragons. And I love fantasy and dragons, so I picked that up. Ooh, look at that. Ah, that looks like so much fun. Okay, so I know those aren't yarn related, but that's what I found them in the book section. And then they had a crochet book. Questions answered on everything from basic stitches to finishing touches, and it's by Rita Taylor. Now, I have books like this, and I would recommend it when you guys are at your thrift stores. Try to find the arts and crafts sections. Try to find these old books because you would not believe how much information they have in these books, okay? From hook sizes to yarn weight to techniques that, you know, most people don't even know exist. So this one says copyright is 2009, but they have a chapter on tools and materials, how to start, basic stitches, decorative stitches, edgings, shaping, color work, working in the round, crochet lace, how to follow a pattern, other types of crochet, and finishing touches. So when you can, try to find these books and pick them up. Like if you need to learn a little bit more about crochet that you're just You don't even know that you don't know. What is a chain space? You know, so they're giving you a little bit of like anatomy on stitches. I always find them to be very good, helpful references. Tells you what the repeating means in a pattern. So always go try and find a book in the arts and crafts sections if you can. I paid $1.99 for this one, and it's going to be full of a lot of information. So then I also picked up Leisure Arts Relax and Quilt for $1.99. Now I picked this one up because I do get a lot of inspiration for my blankets from quilting. So I picked this one up because it had a picture of a quilt in there, and I'm like, wow, I wonder if I can translate that into crocheting. Not that one. That one has triangles in it. I was going to show it to you real quick. Oh yeah, that one. One's got little baskets, flowers. It was probably in the beginning, I bet. As long as my battery holds out. Oh yeah, it was this picture right here. They call it rail fence. I love all the colors on that right there. So that is why I picked this book up. To see what kind of inspiration I can get out of this. Okay. And then this, Annie's Crochet Quilt and Afghan Club for 99 cents. It's in a folder. And it says official pattern portfolio created especially for, and then it has a blank spot for the member's name, right? And it's from Annie's Attic. And it has core, Afghan, and pillow. Right? Look at that. And then the pillow. There is tumbling blocks. These are the geometric shapes that also look like optical illusions. Right? And then it has loop and lace, mile a minute, and cabled ripple. Yeah, I mean, look how old school this stuff is, right? We should really make some old vintage patterns because that would be fun. So this is Irish lace and roses. I think it's done in panels, like mile a minute is. This one is all full of cables. Wow, that looks intricate. We should do something like that. I'll have to find a publication date on this if I can. Let's see, this one's about plaids, right? And then this one on the back is plaids and cables. Wedding rings. Okay, who wants a wedding ring blanket? But not like quilters do. And then stripes. Yeah. I mean, that's some fun stuff. For 99 cents? That's pretty cool. We'll do a video and we'll go through this and see the stuff that's in here. Okay. All right. So when I was done inside of 2nd Avenue Thrift, I put all my stuff in the van, walked into Joann's so I can get their all-in-one granny square yarn. Okay, and you saw that they only had 3 left on the shelf. I got the soft white hot stuff, which makes my husband giggle almost every time I say that. So what I'm thinking is with this, I will take the label off. I'll read their instructions on how to work it up so I can get the granny square out of it, okay? But then I think what I'm also going to do is go through my stash and see if I can find separate colors and show you the old school way of making a granny square with lots of colors, which you ladies already know if you're as old as I am and as old as the Google Analytics say that you are, or YouTube, that you guys know how to do this, okay? How to make your first round one color and make your second round another color. But we're going to try this out. Okay, so that was from Joann's. Brand new, full price on that with no coupons. And then I skipped the Salvation Army because they really are hit or miss with yarn. And I went into Good Stuff Thrift and picked up the Karen Simply Soft for my mom. in the color fuchsia. $2.99 a piece, but they're all brand new and they haven't been used, and you can tell that they're new. And they had 6 of these in the store. I think it's less than it was the last time I was in there. I was pretty sure they had twice this amount. So there's 3. I can't hold all of them together. There's the next 3. Okay, and then I had called my mom while I was in there because they have this Starbella, and I bought 4 balls of this for $1.25 each. So there are 4 little balls of Starbella, because she still uses this yarn that kind of is like a ribbon but not. So I will get that in a box and get it in the mail and send it to my mother. Okay, so that is it for my very impromptu, by the seat of my pants, spur of the moment trip to the thrift stores, all because my mom sent me a message and said, hey, do they still have that Karen Simply Soft at the thrift store? So my husband and I made a day of it, and I'm going to go take this footage, put it in the computer, and make it into a coherent video, put it up for today, and hopefully I'll see you guys in a couple days when we put the patchwork squares out on the bed. Okay, you guys know how much I love you. I love chatting with you down in the comments below. I appreciate all the kind words all the time, and I love this little community that we are building for ourselves. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.